Today, football takes center stage. The silver and black faithful are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines, now introducing the starting offensive unit for professional football's winningest team, your Oakland Raiders. At tackle from Utah, number 65.
The Oakland offense introduced to the crowd at a raucous, sold-out Coliseum as the Raiders host the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Kenny Albert, along with Tim Green, Week 4 in the NFL. And Tim, the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. They fell one game short last year. They hope to go this season, and they have a balanced, high-powered offense.
And they really do, and it starts with their quarterback. Now, Rich Gannon is a late bloomer. I mean, he was in the league for 11 years, virtually anonymous. But the last 2 years, he's gone to the Pro Bowl, and he can do it all. He can run with the ball, he can throw it, and he's got great targets downfield in Jerry Rice and Tim Brown. What better guys to throw to? The best thing about Gannon is not his arm, not his legs, but what's up here. He knows this offense very well. He operates it with very high efficiency.
Offensively for the Dallas Cowboys, rookie quarterback Quincy Carter returns after missing 2 games.
You know, Quincy Carter is a wonderful young man, but he is at the opposite end of the spectrum from Rich Gannon. Very inexperienced, so he has to go right down to the bare-bone basics. Hey, he's got to protect the football. He can't fumble it. He's struggled with that. He can't throw interceptions. He's struggled with that, and he's got to get the ball downfield, not just for completing some deep passes, but stretch the defense and use the pass to open it up for the run.
How about the UPS keys to the game?
Well, I think the keys to the game for the Cowboys are they need a lot of stickum on their hands. They got to hang on to the football. No fumbles, no interceptions. This team leads the league in turnovers right now. And then, as I said, they got to go deep. They've got to find Joey Galloway. Galloway still has that deep speed, and he has scored 8 touchdowns against this Raiders defense in his career. Raiders, forget about fantasy football, guys. We need a balanced team effort from you if they're going to win today. No individual statistics. And head coach Sean Gruden says, remember Buster Douglas. No one thought Tyson was going to be beaten by Douglas. We must not be upset today.
Well, the opening kickoff is coming up from Oakland. The Cowboys and the Raiders next. Kenny Albert, Tim Green back in Oakland as we get set for the opening kickoff. The 2-1 Raiders and the 0-3 Cowboys. Some stars, Tim, from the early games today.
Donovan McNabb up to his usual tricks there for Philadelphia. 19 of 29 for 280 yards. Bettis leading the Steelers in an upset victory. And then Marcus Robinson for Chicago just spanking Atlanta down in Atlanta today.
Bears winning that game 31-3. Let's check in now with DJ Johnson. DJ?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Hey, when the Cowboys and Raiders bang heads here in a few minutes, they will not be unfamiliar foes. Coach, in a very strange twist, this will be the 3rd time that you face the Cowboys, including the preseason. What are the major downfalls of facing a team 3 times?
I don't know what they are exactly. I think it's the same for both teams. The theme here today is play hard and do everything you can to win.
All right, now the Fox audience doesn't get to see the Raiders very often. We cover the NFC. What should we expect when we sit down to watch Raider football?
We're hoping for a very physical football game. We're going to try and limit mistakes, try and find a way to win. That's the theme around here.
All right, just win, baby. That's the theme. Back up to you, Kenny.
Thanks very much, DJ. The Cowboys have won the toss. Sebastian Janikowski getting set to kick off for the Raiders. The Cowboys waived wide receiver and return man Wayne McGarity earlier this week, so Reggie Swinton is back deep along with Michael Wiley. Raiders coming off a 38-14 win over Seattle last week, while the Cowboys were defeated in Philadelphia on Sunday night 40-18. Janikowski gets things started. Reggie Swinton from the goal line. Swinton across the 30. Penalty flag down. Janikowski makes the tackle after a 60-yard return to the Raiders 40, but a penalty marker is on the field.
And it's rare when you see a marker down there that it's not holding.
During the return, number 75. 10 yards. First down.
Brandon Noble, the defensive tackle for the Cowboys, And this is just a drastic penalty with a team, there it is right there, trying to get something going.
How about this? Hey, if you can't get it downfield throwing it, go ahead and take it. This is a quarterback draw by design. Watch Carter use the ball. He puts it out there as a fake. He's got to be careful, but hey, that's the kind of big play that they've got to get from Carter. Hey, when you're that young, do it on the ground. If you can't, do it in the air.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the Vikings and the Saints. 1st and 10 from the 23. And the pass is caught on the near side by the tight end, Mike Lucky, for a gain of 3 yards. Carter, 9 of 19 in the season opener. The loss to the Buccaneers. Larry Allen, 6-time Pro Bowler. Mark Stepnoski has gone to the Pro Bowl 5 times. Swinton and Galloway, the wideouts. Emmitt Smith, Robert Thomas in the backfield, and the tight end who made the last catch, Mike Lucky.
See, there's that 8-man front. 8 of them stacked right up in the box.
On 2nd and 6, the option. Well, the Raiders defense saw Quincy Carter and the Cowboys, as DJ mentioned, twice during the preseason. Up front, Taves starting for the injured Rod Coleman. Beekert has led the Raiders in tackles the last 3 seasons. Woodson and Allen on the corners. Hope and Dorsett, the safeties.
Small hope for Quincy Carter is Trace Armstrong, the Raiders' best pass rusher, is not in there today, but they come with the blitz.
Carter's pass on 3rd and 8, incomplete, intended for Reggie Swinton, making first NFL start.
Well, when you have Charles Woodson out there at the cornerback position, you can afford to blitz all day, and that's what the Raiders are going to do. They're going to put their cornerbacks in man-to-man coverage, and they're going to send people on the blitz.
Micah Noor back on his own 10-yard line. David Dunn in single safety for the Raiders. Taken by Dunn at the 32. Across the 45. So good field position for the Raiders following the 14-yard return by Dunn. Back in Oakland, Raiders go to work offensively for the first time from their own 47-yard line. 35-year-old Rich Gannon has gone to the Pro Bowl each of the last 2 years. 1st and 10 from the 47. 4 wide receivers set on 1st down, and Gannon goes to the tight end, Roland Williams, into Cowboys territory, down to the 48-yard line, a gain of 5. Izell Reese made the stop. Gannon's numbers so far this season: 5 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Steve Wisniewski, 8-time Pro Bowler. Frank Middleton starting at right guard for the injured Mo Collins. Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, the wide receivers. Tyrone Wheatley in the backfield with John Ritchie. And the tight end, the ex-Ram, Roland Williams. Gannon with time on 2nd down. Fires for a 1st down to the Cowboys 36 as Dallas native Tim Brown makes the catch. Defensively, Cowboys ranked 22nd. Pepe Zellner starting for the injured Ebenezer Ekuban. Middle linebacker Dat Wynn playing with a cast following hand surgery on Monday. Larimore starting for the injured Mario Edwards, who is in uniform today. From the Cowboys 34, Charlie Carter on 1st down, spins down to the 32-yard line for a gain of 2.
Well, that's the one area where the Cowboys have been strong. It's been in their run defense. Now, they haven't had a lot of pass rush from these guys up front, especially with Ebenezer Ekuban out. And as we said earlier, Kenny, their cornerbacks have some inexperience. You've got Kareem Larimore out there. You've got Izell Reese, who's a converted safety. And I think that's where the Raiders are going to find their most success, in that deep passing game, finding the wide receivers.
2nd and 8 from the 32. Quick drop. And the pass is caught by Jerry Rice. Dexter Coakley made the tackle along with Juwan Hawthorne.
And this is such a frustrating thing for a defensive player because you look at the timing of this. We talked about the balance of this Raiders offense. They come out and you've got Tim Brown and you've got Charlie Garner, you've got Roland Williams. But hey, before you know it, the ball snapped. There's the pattern zip, the ball's out, so your pass rush doesn't do any good. Your pass coverage is barely, put into play before Jerry Rice has got a first down.
Gannon's already connected with 3 different receivers, Williams, Brown, and Rice.
Look at Gannon. He's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. A lot of audibles for this Raiders offense.
On first down, play action. Again, Gannon with time and has the completion down to the 15-yard line. 2nd catch of the day for Tim Brown.
I mean, this is almost like surgery, isn't it? Did you see Gannon at the line of scrimmage? Remember, right at the beginning, Kenny, I said that the best thing about Rich Gannon, he's got an excellent arm. And yeah, he can run the ball. He was the 2nd leading rusher for quarterbacks in the league last year, 2nd only to McNabb. But the best thing is what's right in here. In this helmet is a mind that can change plays at the line of scrimmage, make things happen.
Gannon 4 of 4, 35 yards. Raiders keep it on the ground on 2nd and 3. Charlie Garner moves the chains, picks up another Raiders first down.
Again, when you talk about the multiplicity, the many weapons of this Raiders offense, you've got Rice, you've got Brown, and then in the backfield, you've got a perfect changeup. Tyrone Wheatley, a very powerful runner, and then Charlie Garner is really Barry Sanders-esque in his scat back abilities and his ability to make tacklers miss.
Garner, a 1,000-yard rusher each of the last 2 years across the bay with the 49ers. Well, just short.
This is where you want Tyrone Wheatley in there.
Third and inches coming up for the Raiders from the Cowboys 13 as, yes, Tyrone Wheatley enters the game.
And that's the balance of this Raiders offense, and that's the beauty of it. Big, strong offensive line, good in pass protection, good, strong run blockers. You got Steve Wisniewski right there. That's where I'd run it.
Wheatley, the lone back. Gannon on the keeper. Looks to have the first down. He does.
This is an important play. You know, once you're inside the 20-yard line, this is where a lot of West Coast offenses fail because they're high-tech, they're fast passing. Well, look at this surge by that offensive line. You have to have that in football, especially once you get inside the 20-yard line, down on the goal line. You have to have push, and these guys are giving them push.
Adam True, the center, making only his 2nd NFL start. From the 12-yard line, play action, Gannon rolling right, and the pass broken up by Kareem Larimore, intended for Tim Brown.
And I think the thing that makes this thing happen is the pressure, because Rich Gannon is under heat. He doesn't have time to survey the field. He doesn't have time to look around. The Cowboys last Sunday night, they let Donovan McNabb for the Eagles stand back there forever. But look at that win. See him coming on the blitz right there? So when you've got a guy coming on the blitz, then you only get to look for your primary receiver, and that's Tim Brown right here on the out. And that looks like pass interference by Larimore.
3 wide receivers, Porter in motion on 2nd and 10. Garner.
Oh, boy.
Charlie Garner down to the 5. He picks up 7 yards before he was finally stopped by George T.
Oh, did you see the quickness of that cutback? Remember I said Barry Sanders-esque? The thing about Garner is for his size, he's very powerful, so he can take it up in here. But he has the speed to bounce it to the outside. So as a linebacker, Dexter Coakley has to go up. You've got to respect. If you see him coming up the middle, then you've got to fill, and you've got to fill hard and fast. But then all of a sudden he breaks the changeup on you.
3rd down and 3 from the Cowboys 5. Gannon with time, can't find anyone. Now throws, touchdown, Jerry Rice.
That's just way, way, way too much time to let Rich Gannon sit back there with Jerry Rice and Tim Brown running around in your end zone.
Third touchdown of the season for Rice. Scored twice last week against Seattle. Janikowski adds the point after. Raiders score on their opening drive and lead 7-0.
Another great in the world of sports, Jerry Rice. The best receiver ever to play the game.
Rice with the game's first touchdown. Raiders leading the Cowboys 7-0 with just over 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter from Oakland. Raiders lead the Cowboys 7-0. Kenny Albert, Tim Green, DJ Johnson from Oakland. Cowboys go to work on their second offensive possession of the game from their own 20-yard line.
Here it is again. 8 men right up there. They're going to have to stretch the field.
The end around to Joey Galloway. After the fake to Emmitt Smith, and Galloway gains 10 yards for a Cowboys first down.
Barry Bonds won't be a part of it, but unbelievable games coming up this week on Fox for the playoffs.
Carter's pass intended for Robert Thomas. Now, Tim, in case you were wondering about that pitch, Dennis Springer is a knuckleball specialist, so that is why looked like he served
looked like it was served up. Okay.
So Bonds hits number 73.
Well, so far the Raiders are serving up a lot of knuckles to the Cowboys because they've been crushing them. The defense has been shutting down the Cowboys offense. The only thing we've seen from the Cowboys so far today is Quincy Carter running the ball.
The pitch to Smith. And Emmitt forces his way forward to the 33-yard line for a gain of 3, setting up third down and 7.
You know, I don't know. I know they wanted to simplify their offense, but coming out with the, with the power eye and pitching it to Emmitt Smith, that's a little too simple. And that looks like Pop Warner football. And what I think the Cowboys really need to do is start to roll Quincy Carter out of the pocket and give him the option to either run or throw the football. Throw it if there's an obvious target. If not, use those legs.
3 wide receivers set, third down and 7. Carter gained 15 earlier, and he reaches across close to a first down.
I think he got it. I think he got it.
The first down marker on about the 40.5-yard line. The question is, where will the officials spot the ball as Carter reached out to try and pick up the first down?
Well, the ball should be spotted wherever the ball was when his knee touched the ground.
The 3 biggest plays, Tim, so far for the Cowboys, the 2 Carter runs and the end around to Joey Galloway.
Yeah, the end around was a nice one, nice trick play. But definitely so far today, it's been Carter running the football has been the only story for this offense, and he got another first down. But hey, if you've got a young guy like Carter, there's not a lot he's going to be able to do to figure out downfield. I mean, this is an incredible game to have to come in and play. And so let him use his natural talents. Let him use his ability to run the ball. And he does an exceptional job here, not only of running it, but look at the effort to pick up that first down and the mental sharpness to know right where that marker was.
Carter, 3 carries, 20 yards. Emmitt Smith, on the other hand, 3 carries, 0 yards. Now negative yards.
Well, they can't run the football until they back off this Raiders defense. And the Raiders are just going to continue to challenge them by outnumbering them at the line of scrimmage. It's just simple mathematics. Look at all these bodies here. Look at them. They're all coming up, and they're all crowding the line of scrimmage. So you're never going to have enough blockers, and your safety, Marquez Pope, is going to be in the backfield tackling Emmitt Smith.
Now second down and 14. Carter looking for Galloway, penalty marker on the play.
That may be against Flozell Adams.
It's holding against the Cowboys.
I'm not sure if it's holding or illegal hands to the face.
Dick Hantak, our referee, in his 24th NFL season.
Illegal hands. Offense number 76. Hands to the face. Penalty is declined. Third down.
And that was Flozell Adams on Reagan Upshaw. Again, you saw there when the Raiders didn't come with the blitz, Quincy Carter had some pretty decent time. With Trace Armstrong out for the Raiders defensively, I think we're going to see a lot more blitzing today, though.
Movement on the line, penalty flags on 3rd and 14.
Man, that looked like Flozell Adams again. Unless they call a neutral zone infraction against the Raiders.
Neutral zone infraction. Right defensive end. Offense moved after the defense was in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So instead of 3rd and 14, Tim, it will be 3rd and 9.
Right, when Reagan Upshaw jumps and gets into that neutral zone, then Flozell Adams is allowed to react to it. So a little bit of help for a young quarterback. Again, you know, the worst situation to be in, 3rd and long, and the Cowboys have been terrible at 3rd and long. 2nd worst in the league so far this year. Look for another Quincy Carter run.
Carter to the near side, incomplete. He was looking for Joey Galloway.
And Charles Woodson was giving Galloway almost nowhere to go.
Penalty marker on the play.
Illegal hands. Offense number 77. Hands to the face. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
This time Solomon Page, the right tackle.
And I think Quincy Carter may have something going on with his leg. It looked like he might have pulled something on that play.
David Dunn waiting back at his own 15-yard line. High snap to Micah Noor. Gets the punt away. Taken by Dunn at the 13. Got across the 25 to the 26. He was brought down there by reserve linebacker Bobby Brooks. 45-yard punt by Noor. Back at Oakland, Raiders lead the Cowboys. Late first quarter, 7-0. Quincy Carter shaken up moments ago. Working on his left knee.
And if he can't run, that's bad, because that's all the Cowboys have had offensively is Carter running.
Gannon over the top. Joey Porter out to the 31-yard line for a gain of 5. Dat Wynn made the tackle.
Well, Kenny, John Gruden wanted his team to remember Buster Douglas upsetting Tyson. Look at this. These guys right here, Johnny Harris, bringing his punches from the floor. Look at that. I mean, they knocked Lynn Scott, the gunner for the Cowboys punt team, all the way to the Gatorade.
Scott finally worked his way back onto the field through a maze on the Raiders sidelines. Charlie Garner on 2nd and 5. Cutting to the outside, forced out of bounds at the 35-yard line by DeJuan Hawthorne, about 1 yard shy of the marker.
So far, everything working today the way the Raiders had planned it. They're able to throw the ball downfield, touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. They're able to mix in the run and Charlie Garner. And then defensively, they've really shut down the Cowboys.
3rd down and 1. Wheatley. First down, forced back, but did pick up enough for the first down. Dropped up by Pepe Zellner.
This time they get not only the surge from that Raiders offensive line, but they get the big back coming up over the top. Watch these guys. I mean, look at Wisniewski and Sims. Look at that. I mean, plenty of space for Tyrone Wheatley, and then he gives it a blast of his own. Wisniewski, Adam True, backup center.
Frank Middleton starting at right guard for the injured Mo Collins. A late change. Gannon firing on first down. Broken up beautifully by the strong, the free safety, George Teague.
Yeah, this is played extremely well by George Teague. And it's all about timing, because you're going to see Brown break across the middle, and George Teague's got to read it, see it, and get there just as the ball gets there. Now, he's allowed to put his hand on Tim Brown's back, as long as he does not impede Brown from catching the football. Great timing.
3 wide receivers for the Raiders. 2nd and 10 from the 38. Charlie Garner cutting to the outside. Close to another Raiders first down. Knocked out of bounds at the 48 by Izell Reese.
Boy, it's just the same thing with Charlie Garner. He draws that defense into the center. You have to respect him as an inside runner. There it is. There's the linebackers up inside, and then he breaks to the outside with that great speed, forcing a cornerback to make the tackle. See, watch Darren Woodson. He's got to come up to the inside.
Garner had a huge game against the Cowboys last year. Playing with the 49ers, he gained a career-high 201 yards last September. Wheatley on first down into Cowboys territory to the 49. A gain of 3. Brandon Noble made the tackle.
The Cowboys really need to get their defense to come up with some kind of a big play. Some kind of something to change the momentum that's already been established, the momentum that's started in the first game of the season for this Dallas Cowboys team, and that momentum is, we got nothing going on offense, and our defense just slowly gets worn down and pounded away through the game.
Gannon on 2nd and 7, penalty marker down, another flag, 2 flags on the play. Izell Reese may have grabbed hold of Charlie Garner.
Well, I like what Dave Campo was thinking on this. Remember I said, they need a big play defensively, and so they come with the blitz, but I think Darren Hambrick may have jumped a little too soon.
Dick Hantak sorting things out.
Defense, number 54, lining up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Illegal contact. Number 43, that's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's Izell Reese, and he had the coverage on Charlie Garner. This play started to self-destruct with the blitz, and Hambrick jumps. And now here you see Izell Reese. Garner, boy, he can only hit Charlie Garner head up.
So another first down for the Raiders from the Cowboys 45. Wheatley forcing his way down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 9. Finally brought down by Dexter Tuckley.
Talk about a power runner. I mean, this not only picks up yardage and first downs for not a first down of this, but this takes the heart out of a defense. When you can line Tyrone Wheatley up in your backfield, go straight at you, and wham, take away 8 yards on the ground, you're going to collapse the will of the defense.
And the Cowboys last season finished last in the league in rush defense. This year ranked 21st.
Gannon checking off. He sees something he likes.
Gannon on 2nd and short. First down and more. Tim Brown down to the Cowboys 8-yard line. A gain of 28 yards on the play.
Beautiful adjustment by Rich Gannon, the quarterback.
The first quarter comes to an end. Raiders in the red zone once again. They lead the Cowboys by the score of 7-0. Back at Oakland, Raiders leading the Cowboys 7-0. First and goal, Oakland from the 9. Wheatley up the middle. Takes 4 Cowboys to finally bring him down after a gain of 5 yards.
And so far, Kenny, we've seen exactly what we've always seen from the Raiders the past 2 years, and that is incredible balance offensively. Gannon spreading the ball around. He's making adjustments, audibles at the line of scrimmage. Garner chalking up the yards. Wheatley chalking up the yards. I mean, this is just how the Raiders want to operate this game and the entire season.
Wheatley and Garner both averaging 5 yards a carry. Second and goal from the 3. Zach Crockett. Touchdown Raiders.
They not only punch it into the end zone, they punch this Cowboys defense and the Cowboys team right in the gut.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Zach Crockett. Janikowski adding the point after. 2 offensive possessions for the Raiders, 2 touchdowns. Well, Charlie Garner and Tyrone Wheatley do the dirty work, and then Zach Crockett comes in to reap the benefits.
That's a great deal. Again, it just expresses that balance and the diversity of this Raiders offense. They have so many different weapons, and John Gruden's not afraid to give the ball to any one of them.
Raiders now lead 14-0. Kickoff taken at the 8 by Swinton. Reggie Swinton into Raiders territory. Down to the Oakland 42. A 50-yard return by the former Arena League star Reggie Swinton.
Welcome back to Oakland, California. Update on Quincy Carter. He has a left hamstring strain. He's going to warm it up, see how it feels. He dropped back a couple times on the sideline. He said it was okay. Then he changed his mind. So we'll keep you updated later. Back up to you, Kenny and Tim.
All right, thanks, DJ. So Anthony Wright in the game at quarterback, going deep on his first play. It's a touchdown to Joey Galloway.
What a way to start the game for Anthony Wright. And you see that Galloway still has that incredible speed. His 9th touchdown against this Raiders defense. And the man that he beat, Kenny, was Charles Woodson, considered by many to be one of the top cornerbacks in the league.
So Anthony Wright throws his 4th touchdown pass of the year on only 20 completions. 4 have gone for touchdown.
Wow. Deafening silence here in Oakland.
2 big plays, a 51-yard kick return by Swinton and a 40-yard touchdown pass to Galloway.
Cowboys come right back in Oakland. 2 things they didn't have last week: special teams, 2 special teams fumbles last week. This week right here, Reggie Swinton with a huge return. The other thing they didn't have was a deep passing game, and watch Galloway run right past Charles Woodson. And you see Swinton gets the reward of a hug from Avizano on the sideline.
First touchdown reception of the season for Joey Galloway, who did not catch a pass last week for the first time in his career. David Dunn. 10-yard return out to the 25-yard line.
Kenny, that touchdown not only gave the Cowboys a spark of life here and a spark of hope, but it also is going to back that Raiders defense off, because they're not going to be able to crowd the line knowing that Wright has the ability to get the ball downfield to Joey Galloway. And everybody knows what kind of speed Galloway has.
The Cowboys, Tim, had gained a total of 31 yards on their first 13 plays prior to the 40-yard touchdown connection from Anthony Wright to Joey Galloway.
And how about Anthony Wright? I mean, what a beautiful pass.
Raiders start from the 25 as Gannon. It's Rice. Forced out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
You know, and remember earlier we talked about the inexperience of the Cowboys cornerbacks, and here you get to see Izell Reese, who really is a safety. So he doesn't have that great change of direction. So look at the cushion that he gives Rice, and then watch him slip right there on the change of direction. I mean, that's more like a safety than a cornerback, and that's going to be there for the Raiders most of the day today.
And Reese started the first 3 games at left cornerback, playing at the right corner today. Wheatley on first down. No gain on the play, brought down by Michael Myers.
And the thing about that is, you know, Michael Myers and the rest of the Cowboys front, they do a nice job, and they did it with only 7 men. You know, we've been talking all game long, Raiders defense, stacking the line, putting 8 men. The Cowboys are going to have to stop the run with 7 because we saw Izell Reese and Kareem Larimore. They're going to need the help of both Darren Woodson and George Teague. Both safeties, I think, need to play deep.
4 wide receivers set, 2nd and 10. Gannon with loads of time, and he finds Tim Brown in Cowboys territory for another Raiders first down. Kareem Larimore made the tackle. Gain of 29 yards from Gannon to Brown.
Well, when you talk about a complete offense, it starts with these big guys up here. Look at the protection that Gannon gets on this play. I mean, he can just sit back there and have a tea party. He's got all the time in the world, and you can't give a quarterback like Gannon with receivers like Brown and Rice that much time.
4 catches for Brown. Gannon 9 of 11, 111 yards. From the 36 corner, up the middle, as we send it to James Brown in Los Angeles. JB?
Kenny and Tim, there's a new entry in the Bucs record book, and it comes on Brett Favre's 2nd pick. Here, picked off by Shelton Qualls. Take a look at the big fella. He returns it 98 yards, longest interception return for a score in Bucs history, and it is 7-0 Bucs. And as we throw it back to Kenny and Tim, Chris Collinsworth says his criticism inspired the great play of Jake Plummer.
I love the way Chris can always turn a negative into a positive.
And the Packers and Buccaneers always produce excitement. Tim Brown, his 5th catch. Another Raiders first down, forced out of bounds by Darren Woodson at the 12-yard line. Gain of 24 yards.
I mean, Rich Gannon is making this look easy. See how he just threw that? But he threw that ball with casualness. He just kind of laid. Watch Gannon. Watch him throw this ball. Look at. He just kind of zips it out there. A little sidearm throw. Just zip. You know, he reads the defense perfectly. He sees Tim Brown. Tim Brown's doing what he's supposed to do, cutting across the middle. Look at him read. Look at the vision. And look at those eyes wide open.
Gannon can't find anyone. Takes off inside the 10, slides down to the 7. Penalty marker down in the defensive backfield.
That's going to be against the Cowboys.
Officials sorting things out. Here comes Dick Hantak.
Defense. We'll tack it on at the end of the run. We'll measure half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Oh, we've talked, Kenny, about Gannon, his ability to read the defense, the great throws he makes. Don't forget this aspect. Look at the mobility. Even when the Cowboys get a little bit of pressure on him, look at the change of direction and his ability to run that football. He is the complete package. And it took him 12 years in the National Football League to get there.
First and goal, Wheatley up the middle into the end zone for the touchdown.
much as John Gruden loves the West Coast and throwing the football and passing it, this is a thing that lets a coach in the National Football League know you can not only win games, you can win a championship. Throw the ball down the field, move the length of the field, and then just pound it in with your run game when you're inside the red zone.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Tyrone Wheatley. Janikowski adds his third extra point. 21-7 Raiders. 3 drives, 3 Oakland touchdowns.
That should be a very challenging start for the Yankees, who've got some injuries.
Having A's with the second best record in baseball. Here's Swinton, who returned the last kickoff 51 yards, setting up the Dallas touchdown. Takes this one back 21 yards. So the Cowboys go back to work offensively following the Tyrone Wheatley 4-yard touchdown run. 7-play, 75-yard drive.
And Wheatley ran right through Dexter Coakley to get into the end zone.
So Anthony Wright in for his second series. Quincy Potter bothered by the hamstring injury. First and 10 from the 23. Quick drop. Wright on the keeper out to the 27-yard line. A gain of 4. Tony Bryant made the stop.
I got to tell you, the Raiders' defense has not changed at all. They're saying, hey, as long as our offense can score, we're still going to take our safety, Anthony Dorsett, we're going to bring him right up to the line of scrimmage. We're still going to go with an 8-man front. We're going to pressure. We're going to blitz. And we don't care about Joey Galloway running downfield. And when your offense can score every time they touch the ball, you don't have to care about Joey Galloway going downfield.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 6. The inside handoff to Troy Hambrick. And Hambrick on his first carry of today's game is out to the 48-yard line for a gain of 20 yards.
This guy Hambrick has really exploded for the Cowboys so far this season. Look at that 9.5-yard average. And he does it again. It looked like he got a little stinger on that. But he's an inside runner. He's a big physical guy. And he's a great changeup.
He had his 80-yard run Sunday night in Philadelphia. He's the brother of Cowboys linebacker Darren Hambrick.
See, here it is. They're crowding the line of scrimmage.
Emmitt Smith into Raiders territory, tackled by number 75, Chris Cooper, who is
Baby Howie Long.
Yes, referred to by his teammates as Baby Howie.
Same number as Howie Long, same tenacity, not quite as thick as Howie.
6th-round draft pick out of a Division II school, Nebraska Omaha.
Meantime, it looks like the Cowboys are starting to find a little bit of an inside run game.
Here's Emmitt again. Has the first down. Down to the Raiders 41, a gain of 5 yards.
Hey, they're getting some good blocking up front. I mean, you've got Larry Allen and you've got Mark Stepnowski. And I like to see the kind of running the Cowboys are doing right now, a lot more than trying to do a pitch or a toss sweep to the outside or running the option. I mean, just if you've got these big guys here and you've got some injuries to that Raiders defensive line, take it right to them.
3 wide receivers set from the 42. Play action, right, complete. Emmitt Smith, who told us yesterday he wants to catch the ball more.
Yeah, that's just what Emmitt Smith wants. He says, you know, boy, back in the days, you know, when it was Michael and Troy and me and Moose, he said, you know, I used to be the check down guy, and Troy would have the ability to find me. Here's Emmitt coming right out of the backfield. I said, well, maybe you'll get some tomorrow. He said, I doubt it. I'm about the 4th or 5th receiver. But Anthony Wright does a great job of reading the defense, remaining calm, and then just dumping it off to Emmitt.
1st and 10 from the Raiders 29.
That's going to be on the Raiders. Another neutral zone by Tony Bryant.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, this is a different game with Anthony Wright in at quarterback.
Wright started the last 2 games. The losses to San Diego and Philadelphia after Carter injured his right thumb in practice following the Tampa Bay game week 1. 1st and 5 from the 24. More movement, more penalty flags. Wright picks up a first down at the Raiders 18. Forced out of bounds by Elijah Alexander.
One thing the Raiders did defensively on that, Kenny, they played 2 safeties deep. That's the first time I've seen them do it today. And that just shows respect for Anthony Wright's ability to throw the ball deep.
Offside. Defense number 94. He's in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. Penalty is declined. First down.
That's Tony Bryant again. Let's check in with JB.
Hey, Kenny, Brett Favre rebounded from a slow start last week against Carolina to guide the Packers to victory. Threw 2 picks early here. Take a look. Here to Bill Schrader, 67 yards. It's all tied at 7. Back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, thanks very much, JB. We saw Shelton Quarles with the 98-yard interception return earlier for the Buccaneers, and then Brett Favre answers right back.
And that's such an important thing for a team to be able to answer back. And this is the first time the Cowboys, maybe the first time this season, that their offense has not only been able to answer back, but this has been a sustained drive, something they've not had. So they're not only moving the ball, they're resting their defense.
Their longest drive of the season, only 9 plays. This is the 8th play of this drive. Wright dumps it off. And the pass is caught by the fullback, Robert Thomas, as we check in once again with James Brown.
Bradshaw was tickling me the last time, Kenny. You know, Favre started slowly last week against Carolina, rebounded. He's rebounding here. 67 yards to Bill Schrader. Nice zone adjustment by Schrader there for the score, and it's all tied at 7. Kenny and Tim.
Well, Brett Favre, outstanding season so far over the first 3 weeks. Amon Green leading the NFL in rushing. Right out of the shotgun, 3rd and 10, and the pass is knocked down by Marquez Pope, who is coming on the blitz.
Raiders defense brings the house. Chuck Bresnahan, the defensive coordinator, says, I'm just going to send more guys than they can block. And that's exactly what happens here. There was no blocker for Marquez Pope. And that's great athleticism by Pope to time it up, to leap up, and bat that pass down.
Now Tim Cedar, 4 of 4 this season to attempt a 34-yard field goal.
Blocked.
Out of bounds at the 21. William Thomas.
Troy Hambrick is the Cowboys wing. A thankless position, one I played. You've got to block the inside guy and then come and block the outside guy. He misses the inside guy, William Thomas. Right there, he misses him. So Thomas is able to come in and get a clean block on this kick. A thankless position in the National Football League. There are a few of them out there. The wing on the field goal protection is one of them. William Thomas uses that great quickness and takes advantage of a whiff by Hambrick.
We talked about the Cowboys' special teams problems last week against the Eagles. They had a punt blocked in that game on Sunday night. Hambrick crumpling up the Polaroid photo on the sideline.
What do you think? Can the Cowboys' defense contain this Raiders offense for once today or no?
Well, the Raiders have scored a touchdown in all 3 of their possessions so far.
And this seems like maybe the only way that the Cowboys defense is going to stop the Raiders, and that is if the Raiders do a little self-destructing. Charlie Garner clearly not ready for that pass. It looked like it hit him in the shins.
Three possessions, 3 touchdowns, 2 10-play drives, and a 7-play drive for the Raiders offense. On second attempt, Garner spins away from the first tackle and gains 2.5 before he was brought down by Dat Wynn.
Well, that was good work by the interior of the Cowboys defense. John Nix took on 2 blockers on that play and kind of clogged it up. And then Pepe Zellner was able to come clean. This is a defense that's a little, now Nix isn't light, but the rest of them are more light up front. So they're going to hit you in your gaps.
3 wideouts for the Raiders. Third down and 7. Gannon under pressure. Taken down by Tony Dixon. The second-round pick out of Alabama, his first career sack.
And if you can't get a pass rush with your 4 men up front, the Cowboys haven't done it this year, you bring the blitz. And Tony Dixon does something that a lot of cornerbacks don't do. And watch him come from the outside. He's persistent. Watch him. He misses there. He's down on the ground, and he's up. He's persistent in his pass rush, and that's what gets him the sack.
So the Raiders go 3 and out for the first time. Texas native Shane Leckler's first punt is taken at the 28-yard line by Reggie Swinton. Swinton breaks another tackle off the sidelines, finally out of bounds at the 49. A 51-yard punt by Leckler, 22 yards on the return.
Just an incredible offense, especially tough at that Transworld Dome.
Good field position for the Cowboys, but Emmitt Smith is bottled up on first down. No gain on the play. Tony Bryant made the tackle. Redskins team now 0-4. Cowboys looking for their first win. Arizona Cardinals finally won their first earlier today.
Yeah, an incredible comeback for the Cardinals, and Jake the Snake Plummer with a last-second touchdown pass to beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia 21-20. And that's the kind of upset that the Raiders were very focused on all week, saying, hey, we may be huge favorites in this game, but we cannot allow to let off and be upset by the Cowboys.
Raiders leading by 2 touchdowns, 2nd and 10. Wright has the ball knocked away. It's loose, and looks like Emmitt Smith fell on it.
Yeah, but Tony Bryant does a fantastic job of rushing on Solomon Page. It's just a classic rip move around the outside, and he uses his speed. He turns the corner extremely well. Watch him here. See him right there? He turns the corner, and he slaps that ball out of Anthony Wright's hand.
And that brings us to the 2-minute warning from Oakland, where the Raiders lead the Cowboys 21-7.
And Hayward Project School.
Kenny Albert, Tim Green, DJ Johnson back in Oakland with the Raiders leading the Cowboys 21-7. 2 minutes to go, first half. Third down and 17. Cowboys from their own 42. Everybody out. Wright airing it out off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Reggie Swinton.
What a well-thrown ball by Anthony Wright.
David Dunn back deep for the Raiders. Micah Noor punting from his own 30-yard line. Taken by Dunn at the 18, and he is met immediately by Lynn Scott. Ball pops loose, and the Cowboys have it. The Cowboys, who lead the NFL in turnovers, force one as Dunn coughed it up on the punt return. So the Cowboys will have first and goal on the Raiders' 8-yard line.
This is the kind of break the Cowboys need going into halftime. You see the tackle there, and Dunn tries to stay up. Then Jamel Brooks just pounds the ball out of there. Here's Lynn Scott. We saw him get knocked into the Gatorade a couple of plays ago. He slows Dunn up, and that's a classic time for a fumble. One guy holds him up, the other guy knocks him the ball right out.
A minute 38 to go. First and goal from the 7. Aaron Smith again.
Boy, I hate that play.
Oh, again hit for a loss.
I mean, this looks like Philadelphia. They had a couple fumbles down in the red zone. They start running it to the outside. You're not going to beat the Raiders defense to the outside. We've already seen the only way you're going to beat the Raiders defense is running it quick right up the center, or you got to throw the thing downfield. Am I right or what?
I agree.
Thank you.
Emmitt Smith, Tim, 9 carries today, 5 yards rushing on 9 carries. Second and goal from the Raiders 10. Off the fake to Hambrick. Right looks end zone. Penalty flags down with 50 seconds to go.
And the Cowboys are not a very good football team, but this is where they've just been absolutely unbelievably ugly.
Offense, number 61, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down, second down.
It's Kelvin Garman. He's the right guard right there. And you see him working on Josh Taves, and he tackles Taves. That's a pretty decent call. And now look where the Cowboys are.
They've been forced all the way back to the 20. They had first and goal on the 7. And for the 4th time in the first half, Emmitt Smith loses yardage as Grady Jackson was there along with Elijah Alexander, Tony Bryant as well.
I'm sorry, I don't understand it. You know, you line up in the I and run the lead. I mean, you're second and a long ways. It was a nice play by Grady Jackson. I'll give him that. Grady Jackson's a big man on the inside, and he's got that kind of quickness that can allow you to take it to the next level.
Cowboys call timeout with 21 seconds to go in the half.
There's Grady watering up a little bit.
Well, Emmitt Smith has carried the ball 10 times today, Tim. On 4 of those 10 carries, he has lost yardage. Similar to what he went through in the first half last week against the Eagles.
Well, on that play, there wasn't much Emmitt Smith could have done. I mean, Grady Jackson was, paid him a visit in the backfield, and Kelvin Garman was the guy who missed the block. So Garman has the holding penalty that pushes him back, and then his man just comes almost scot-free and tackles Emmitt Smith.
Loss of 3 on the play. Now 3rd and goal from the 23.
They got these guys in here for a little max protection.
Wright's pass is incomplete. Even if Swinton had caught it before it hit the turf, it would have been 4th and goal on the 8-yard line. Cowboys would have been in much closer range for Tim Cedar.
Let's take a look at it anyway. Nope, clearly bounced on the ground.
Remember, Cedar had a 34-yard attempt blocked moments ago by William Thomas. This will be a 41-yard attempt. So it looked like a terrific opportunity for the Cowboys after they forced the fumble. Will turn into a maximum 3 points.
Remember Tampa Bay, the Cowboys' first game of the season? They got a couple fumbles, and all they got out of it was field goals. Now the officials are reviewing it, and this is not one that the Cowboys have to challenge because it's inside 2 minutes. So the replay officials are just being extra safe and taking another look at it. But I think it's pretty clear that the ball hits the ground right there.
Yes. Coming back onto the field.
After reviewing the play, the call on the field stands as called incomplete pass. The ball hit the ground. 4th down.
Good job by both the replay booth and Hantak, as you said, just being cautious, just to make sure.
41-yard attempt.
So a 41-yard field goal attempt for Cedar. High snap, blocked again. The special teams woes continue for the Cowboys. Reagan Upshaw got a piece of this one. So the Raiders have blocked 2 field goals this quarter.
And Reagan Upshaw, he just comes right up the middle. He just blasts right through the center of that Cowboys offensive line and blocks his kick.
So wasted opportunities for the Cowboys here in the second quarter. They could have had 10 more points. Instead, they'll head into the locker room trailing by 2 touchdowns. A pair of blocked field goals, and this last drive started on the 7-yard line. First and goal on the 7. They were forced all the way back to the 23, and then the blocked field goal. So the Raiders lead at the half, 21-7. Let's take a look here at the first half numbers.
Well, and actually these numbers are almost misleading, because although the Raiders don't have a ton of numbers, the most important number for the Raiders is the first time their offense had the ball. The first 3 times they came up with 21 points. So 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns right off the bat. And the Cowboys rushing yards, that's a little misleading, but where they did get those rushing yards, Kenny, most of it was right up the center on some quick hitting plays, Quincy Carter scrambling, and also Troy Hambrick.
There's David Dunn, who had the ball knocked loose on that punt return late in the second quarter. Dunn back deep for the Raiders, awaiting Micah Noor's kickoff. 21-7 Oakland. Second half underway. End over end kick taken at the 2 by Dunn. Dunn across the 25 as we check in with DJ Johnson.
Hey, Kenny, Tim, I spoke to Coach Dave Campo of the Dallas Cowboys. He said that the problem in the first half is his defense is getting hit too much by the crossing routes of the Oakland Raiders. He said the underneath coverage is getting turned around too much in their technique. You know, when you're playing a zone, you have to maintain your leverage and you can't get turned around. They've been turned too much, and besides that, he says in the kicking game has both helped and hurt them in the first half. Of course, the 2 blocked kicks, but some excellent returns. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, DJ. And also this Cowboys defense, they've limited the run out in the field, but down in the red zone, they've taken a pounding from this Raiders offensive line.
Charlie Garner on first down from the 28. Gains 2 yards up the middle to the 30. Setting up second down at 8.
Well, I think as much as anything, the Cowboys defense has to be heartened by the little bit of life that their offense has shown since Anthony Wright has come into the game.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, Emmitt Smith was outspoken about the play of Anthony Wright and who Emmitt felt should be the starting quarterback in Dallas. Emmitt backed off those comments a bit in the following weeks. Gannon slides out to the 36-yard line. So it will be 3rd and 2.
And this is an area, believe it or not, 3rd down, where the Raiders have not been incredibly successful this season, although today they've converted on 3 of 4 third downs. But that was, you know, talking to Rich Gannon and John Gruden yesterday, you know, one of the things they said, everything seems to be going right. But the one area where they wanted to improve was in that 3rd down conversion.
3rd and about 2.5. Gannon over the top. 4th catch of the game for Jerry Rice.
Yeah, this is that crossing route that DJ Johnson just told us that Dave Campo was worried about. Watch Jerry Rice. Here he comes. He's crossing right across the center of the defense, right there. And you throw it and Hambrick, the linebackers, there and waiting for it, but not able to bring it down soon enough.
So with the generous spot, Tim, by the officials, Raiders pick up the first down. From the 39.
There's Gannon changing the play again at the line of scrimmage.
Gannon on first down, swings it out to Garner. Breaks the attempt to tackle by Isaiah Reese. And that is forced out of bounds by Dexter Coakley after a gain of 5.
Boy, Isaiah Reese came up and gives a gallant effort on the hit. Well, one thing about Charlie Garner, you think because he's a smaller profile, you think if you just bring a lot of wood on him and knock him, he's going to go down. But we said before, Garner unusually strong for a man his size. And Reese did more damage to himself than he did to Garner.
Reese replaced at right cornerback by Mario Edwards. Tyrone Wheatley. Wheatley across the 45 to the 46, a gain of 2. Setting up third down and 3. Dexter Coakley, John Nixon on the stop.
One of the things, Kenny, when you have an offense that's as complete as the Raiders, you can set things up. So you can dive the ball up the middle, but watch Jerry Rice come in here and they fake the reverse. You see that action, and Gannon carries it out, and that's the kind of thing you can do when you have such an advanced offense with a veteran quarterback.
Gannon back on third and 3. Picks up the first down on the 1,300th reception of Jerry Rice's career. The all-time leading receiver in the NFL. This is 5th catch of the day, the 1,300th of his career.
I was talking with Bob Casula, the defensive or the special teams coach for the Raiders before the game, and he said, Jerry Rice came in here, and no one could believe the work ethic of this guy. After as many years and as many records as he has, he still runs every catch he makes in practice all the way to the end zone. It doesn't matter if he's 80, 90 yards away. The guy's work ethic is unbelievable.
4 wide receivers. Raiders keep it on the ground. Randy Jordan down to the Dallas 43-yard line. Well, Jerry Rice with 1,300 career receptions. We take you back September of 1985. His first career reception, the pass from 49ers quarterback Matt Cavanaugh in Minnesota. And of course, the first 1,281 came in a 49er uniform, now has 19 receptions as a Raider. Second and 5 from the 44. Gannon complete at the 38-yard line to the tight end, Jeremy Brigham. Brigham's first catch of the day.
And again, multiplicity, weapons all over the field. John Gruden not afraid to spread the ball around, using different runners, different receivers. But watch Gannon. Look at Ellis is going to come, and he just steps up. He shirks off the pass rush, steps up and finds the receiver.
Another Raider first down from the 38. The pitch back to Charlie Garner. Garner scoots down to the 31, had the ball knocked out, but he was already out of bounds. Dexter Coakley, Kareem Larimore forced him out. Gain of 7 for Garner.
Well, some nice blocking up front here. Watch Lincoln Kennedy, big number 72, out there. That's a beautiful block. I mean, he just lays his man out for a little nap. Now, Lincoln used to be a teammate of mine in Atlanta. He looked incredibly svelte when I saw him yesterday.
You call that svelte?
Yeah, I'm telling you, compared to what he was, he looked svelte.
Got it on second and 4. It's Rice once again. Down at the Cowboys 22, another Raiders first down. Raiders methodically moving the ball downfield.
Yeah, and Mario Edwards, who was supposed to only come in on emergency, now Isaiah Reese is out. He's giving Jerry Rice the same kind of cushion that Isaiah Reese gave him. And if you're going to be that far off of Jerry Rice, Rich Gannon's just going to turn and pitch the ball to him all day long.
Rice, 6 receptions, 43 yards.
Look, he's not, Edwards isn't even in the picture. He's so far off.
Wheatley. Gains 2 down to the Cowboys 20-yard line.
Well, Kenny, right at the beginning of the game, we said, forget the fantasy football statistics. And you see here the balance that the Raiders are getting from their offense. And, Gannon, 15 of 18, that's very precise passing, but not huge numbers. Only 160 yards and 1 touchdown. Garner, 9 carries, 38 yards. So not spectacular numbers, but spectacular results. 3 touchdowns so far.
Raiders continue to spread it around. On 2nd and 7, Gannon looking for Tim Brown.
Well, Greg Ellis does a nice job on this pass here. I mean, he gets a heck of a jump on Barry Sims. Watch him rushing from the outside. Here's Ellis, and watch him work. Great get off, great swim move. He gets to Gannon a little late. Gannon again, audibling at the line of scrimmage.
And then calls timeout. Raiders have held the ball for the entire quarter, over 7 minutes so far, and they continue driving downfield. Beautiful afternoon in the Bay Area, a sold-out Coliseum. Raiders leading the Cowboys 21-7. Raiders scored on their first 3 possessions of the game. Rich Gannon, 5-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Rice. And then TD runs by Zach Crockett and Tyrone Wheatley. Gannon back on 3rd and 7. He slips, regains his footing, and then slings one into the hands of Tim Brown down at the Cowboys' 13-yard line.
There was so much confusion on the Cowboys' defense on that play. They're lucky they had any kind of coverage at all. They were a man short to the side of the 2 wide receivers.
Close to a first down. They'll bring out the chains.
If you can see the confusion here, Darren Woodson trying to direct guys, and these 2 guys realize down here, there's 2 guys, there's only 3 receivers.
It is a first down for the Raiders, and Tim Brown has gone over the 100-yard mark for the 38th time in his career. 6 receptions for 106 yards for Tim Brown.
And 6 different receivers that Rich Gannon has thrown to.
Brown and Rice, 6 apiece. The pitch to Garner.
Wow.
The 3rd rushing touchdown of the game for the Raiders as they extend their lead. First touchdown of the season for Garner.
Fantastic blocking out front by the Raiders offensive line. And super speed by Garner to take it right to the corner.
Holding. Offense. Number 40. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Well, I said the offensive line did some great blocking, but John Ritchie, the fullback, got a little cheating going on that.
So the flag came in late, and the Raiders must try again.
Yeah, here's Ritchie right over here, number 40. You see that? He just does a little tackle to Kareem Larimore. I don't know if it was as much a tackle as it was, just trying to keep Kareem from hitting the dirt too hard.
Gannon complete to Jerry Rice. Forced out of bounds by Kareem Larimore. At the Cowboys' 14-yard line, a gain of 8.
It's interesting hearing Darren Woodson talk about Kareem Larimore, and he had a lot of praise for Larimore's athletic ability.
Larimore started 4 games last year for the Cowboys. Mario Edwards had started the first 3 games this season, bothered by a shoulder injury. 12 from the 14 off the play fake to Wheatley. The tight end, Roland Williams, forced out at the 5-yard line by Tony Dixon, about 3 yards shy of the marker.
Now Dixon does a really nice job of coming up and tackling Roland Williams, because Williams is a big guy. He's a physical guy. He's got good hands. Watch this tackle. And that's really nice. He doesn't just tackle me, he really pops it.
Now the Raiders can pick up a first down without reaching the end zone. 3rd down and 3 from the Cowboys 5. Gannon for Wheatley. And Tyrone Wheatley looks to have the first down inside the 2.
Well, Darren Hambrick probably didn't keep the Raiders from a first down, but he kept them from a touchdown.
So that was the 16th play of this drive. Raiders took the second half kickoff and have held the ball for close to 9 minutes.
This is where the Raiders today, Kenny, have just punched it into the end zone at will. The other 2 times they were down here close, they ran the ball in easily with Wheatley once and then with Crockett.
Wheatley.
That was Hambrick again. Hambrick came all the way from the other side and tackled Wheatley from behind. So he saved the touchdown on the prior play, and then he saves it on this one too. Look at Hambrick all the way from the outside. And what he does is he shuts Wheatley's drivetrain down. See that? He gets on his leg, he gets on his ankle, and he just hangs on.
18th play of the drive. Wheatley on the outside, touchdown Raiders.
Well, we said it before, Kenny, this Raiders offense is just complete. Precision passing, inside run game, outside run game, and in the red zone, they just powered in behind a big offensive line.
The 6th career 2-touchdown game for Tyrone Wheatley. An 18-play scoring drive for the Raiders. Raiders now lead 28-7 following Tyrone Wheatley's second touchdown of the game. An 18-play, 72-yard drive. Raiders 6 first downs during the drive. This is Michael Wiley. Wiley out to the 37-yard line on the return. So the Cowboys to the offense for the first time this quarter when we return. Oakland Raiders well on their way to their 3rd victory in 4 games, leading the Cowboys 28-7. Anthony Wright remains in the game at quarterback for Dallas after Quincy Carter suffered the hamstring injury back in the first half. From the 36, Wright to the air on first down, broken up by Eric Allen. Flag on the play. Reggie Swinton, the intended receiver.
Remember before we talked about how a cornerback, defensive back, you can put your arm on the guy, you put your hand on him, but you cannot restrict or impede him from catching the ball.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. First down.
And that's what, watch Eric Allen here. And he comes up and he puts his arm, it's that arm on the hip. He had his hand right on Swinton's hip, and he yanked him around. That's a good call by the officials.
Allen, the 14-year veteran, he's gone to 6 Pro Bowls. From the Raiders' 49-yard line. The inside handoff. Gain of 3. Troy Hambrick down to the 46th. The road to the World Series begins Tuesday across the Fox networks. Wright firing on 2nd down, and the catch is made by Galloway for a first down at the Raiders' 27.
What a well-thrown pass by Anthony Wright. And that was a really nice downfield pass, because there was coverage on Joey Galloway. They had an underneath man and a man over the top. Woodson's over the top. You're going to see Greg Biekert come into the screen. He's on the underneath. But Wright delivers that ball perfectly, and he does it under pressure, too. Reagan Upshaw gets a good shot on it.
Gain of 19 yards. Second catch of the day by Galloway. The other was the 40-yard touchdown reception. From the Raiders' 27 on first down, Wright swings it out. Emmitt Smith, his second catch of the day, and he's tackled out of bounds by Elijah Alexander at the 24, a gain of 3.
You see the Cowboys, of course, going to the air now. Obviously, that's what they've got to do. 3 touchdowns behind. Not a situation you want to be in. I mean, you talk about Quincy Carter being a young quarterback. Anthony Wright is also a young quarterback. You know, people think if you can go in, if you have an arm, you can throw and you can run, you can play quarterback. But just because you drive, you can drive and you got reflexes, you can't drive in the Indy 500.
Emmitt Smith down to the 19, a gain of 4 yards, setting up 3rd down and 2 as we check in once again with James Brown.
Kenny and Tim, here's the reason why Green Bay's defense is number 1. 4 sacks on the day. The 3rd one by this guy, Kabir Baha-Biamila. That led to a 35-yard field goal by Ryan Longwell. The Pack on top 10-7 late in the 3rd. Let's take it back to Kenny and Tim.
Thanks, JB. Green Bay and St. Louis, the only remaining undefeated teams in the NFL. San Diego lost today to Cleveland. Chargers had been 3-0. Emmitt Smith met by the middle linebacker, Greg Biekert. Looks like he's just shy of a first down.
Looks like they stopped him, and looks like they tried to run to the outside, which they've had absolutely 0 success doing today. Or maybe they'll be successful on this one, but it would be the first time the Cowboys ran the ball to the outside and had anything good come from it.
Dave Campos' Cowboys have lost 6 in a row on the road, 5 last year, 1 so far this season. Cowboys about a yard shy of a first down. And it looks like they will go for it. Remember, they've had 2 field goals blocked today.
Oh, plus they're 3 touchdowns behind. Not too much time left, and their defense has only stopped that Raiders offense once today.
Raiders have scored on 4 of their 5 possessions. 4th and 1. Wright fakes the toss to Smith, and the pass is knocked down by Marquez Pope. Coming out of the safety blitz. So the Cowboys lose it on downs. Raiders will take over, leading by 3 touchdowns. Penalty marker on the field, however.
Yard penalty. First down.
I think that's going to be on Charles Woodson. He looks like he gets Robert Thomas. Watch him right here. He gets him right by the shirt. I don't know. That wasn't much of a hold, but that was the guy that Anthony Wright wanted to go to.
Charles Woodson celebrating his 25th birthday today. Woodson flagged on the play. So 1st and 10 from the 13. Wright looking for Galloway. Eric Allen on the coverage.
Well, this is a timing pattern here, and then again, you've got an inexperienced quarterback in Anthony Wright, and this is kind of what you expect. I mean, this is by far the most difficult position to play in the National Football League. It's not even close at quarterback, and those kind of timings, and you look at Rich Gannon and you get spoiled. You have to remember Gannon's been doing it now for 14 seasons.
Off the fake. Wright hits Thomas, but he's met immediately by William Thomas, along with Marquez Pope.
That's just excellent defense and speed by William Thomas. Thomas had the coverage on the play. That was his man. He stayed with him all the way. As soon as Robert Thomas gets the pass, William Thomas just brings him down.
Native of Amarillo, Texas. Texas A&M blocked a field goal back in the second quarter. Third down and 9. 3 wide receivers set. Right to Michael Wiley. Stopped about 6 yards shy of the first down marker. Again, William Thomas makes the play.
Now, I was going to say, why would you throw it to Wiley when he's that far short of the mark? And then you got to remember I think they're in 4-down territory. They're sending Cedar out on the field to kick a field goal, but with the way this game's been going, it wouldn't have surprised me at all if the Cowboys had gone for the touchdown or gone for the first down. Maybe a fake here, Kenny?
Well, the punter Noor is the holder.
There it is. Look at that!
Cedar takes it in. Well, Tim, you called it a fake field goal after the Raiders blocked 2 earlier. And Cedar takes it in for the touchdown.
Wow. That thing opened up like the Red Sea. Man.
Well, you talk about a strange game. Cedar has come out to attempt 3 field goals. He has not kicked any through the uprights. He had 2 blocked, and now he runs it in for a touchdown. Tim Cedar with the first rushing touchdown of the season for the Cowboys.
That kind of explains being 0-3.
So Cedar scores all 7 points for Dallas. An 8-yard touchdown run on the handoff from the holder, Micah Noor. Well, what a turn of events here in Oakland. Raiders thought they stopped the Cowboys on 4th down, but Charles Woodson was flagged.
Yeah, I mean, now, do they go for an onside kick now? I mean, do you keep trying to roll?
Well, Noor boots it downfield, taken at the 6 by Dunn. 24-yard return out to the 30. Half minute remaining, 3rd quarter. Raiders now lead by 2 touchdowns. Cowboys special teams coach Joe Abbazzano with Tim Cedar, who moments ago scored his 2nd career rushing touchdown, scored one last year against Cincinnati.
That's the good news for the Cowboys. The bad news is the Cowboys defense has only stopped this offense on 1 drive today. 4 out of 5 times the Raiders offense had the ball. It's resulted in a touchdown, but it ain't over till it's over.
Garner hit for a loss by Dat Wynn.
Dat Wynn, who's playing with that dislocated finger there, ring finger on his right hand.
Underwent surgery on Monday.
Really didn't practice all week.
Time winding down in this 3rd quarter. Raiders 28 and the Cowboys 14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Back in Oakland, Raiders leading 28-14, an entertaining game to say the least.
Well, yeah, it's entertaining now. The Cowboys are back in it a little bit after the fake field goal, and they score a touchdown. But don't forget, again, this Raiders offense has only been stopped by the Cowboys once.
Gannon looking for Charlie Garner, but it bounced away from him.
Well, here, if you take a look at it, Kenny, the first 6 possessions, and you really almost have to discount this one here because that was just the kneel down. But every other time, the Raiders have taken it for a touchdown. Now, the one time the Cowboys defense did go 3 and out, there was a pass to Charlie Garner that he dropped, and that's what we just saw in that last play. So, who knows?
Now 3rd down and 12. Raiders need to get to the 40-yard line for a first down. They have 3 wide receivers out. Gannon steps up and hits his man Tim Brown, but stopped 5 yards shy of the first down marker by Darren Woodson.
And so it's the second 3 and out for the Cowboys defense today, and it's almost remarkable that the Cowboys could still be in this game this late with the way the Raiders offense, but for those 2 possessions, it just dominated.
Shane Leckler out to punt for just the 2nd time this afternoon. End-over-end kick taken at the 24-yard line by Swinton. Swinton across the 40, across midfield. One man to beat, and he's forced out of bounds by the punter, Leckler. Penalty flag down around the area where Swinton was forced out. A 50-yard return by Swinton, who returned a kickoff 51 yards earlier, setting up the Cowboys' first touchdown. And what a story, Tim. Reggie Swinton, cut by Seattle, cut by Jacksonville, released by 2 teams in the Canadian Football League.
Kicking team, defense number 37, 5 yards, first down.
That's Johnny Harris. Watch Swinton on this return. He gets some excellent blocking, but really it's his acceleration that makes this thing happen. I don't know why they said Harris. This looks like
yeah, that's Leckler.
Yeah, it's Leckler. They said 37, but it was 9. Now, how do you mix 9 up with 37? That's not even, like dyslexic. That's a lot of subtraction. That's just really bad math.
But in any event,
if you will,
it is a face mask penalty. So the Cowboys start from the Raiders 21, right on the bootleg, down to the 12-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play.
Well, the last time they had a big return, Wright launched his first pass of the game, and it was a touchdown to Joey Galloway.
They're getting back to Swinton, Tim. He was also released by Las Vegas of the XFL. He went to play in Arena League 2 for the Arkansas Twisters. He made $200 a week. He said earlier this week, I go from $200 to the starting lineup of the Dallas Cowboys.
If that doesn't tell you about being at the right place at the right time, this kid's obviously got talent.
He was going to become a car salesman. He was taking classes. He figured it was time to move on after he was cut by Las Vegas of the XFL. He's the all-time leading receiver out of Murray State. He's had 2 big returns today, a 51-yard kickoff return and a 50-yard punt return after the Cowboys cut Wayne McGarity earlier this week.
Well, this Raiders defense just had a big play on 2nd down on that last play, and they forced the Cowboys into a 3rd and short situation.
And Wright calls timeout. Saw something he did not like on 3rd down and 1. Early 4th quarter from Oakland.
Back in Oakland, Cowboys 3rd and 1. And, this guy right here, Larry Allen, I mean, what a weapon in short yardage to run behind. I mean, just incredible power. And, why not? Why not just take it right behind the big guy? You got baby Howie in front of you. There it is.
Troy Hambrick, not Emmitt Smith in the game. Hambrick was wrapped up by Grady Jackson, depending on the spot. We will see if, in fact, Hambrick picked up enough for a first down. Here come the chains. Ball spotted just inside the Raiders' 12.
No, short. Well, I'll tell you what. Larry Allen, who they ran him by, he does his job. Watch Larry Allen, and he just blasts Chris Cooper, and then he blasts a linebacker. Unfortunately, Garmin right here, he misses his guy. Again, Grady Jackson comes through and hits Hambrick in the backfield. So Kelvin Garmin, that's the second time we've seen that happen. But you can have Larry Allen's power and try to capitalize on it, but the guy on the other side has got to make the cutoff block.
The Cowboys will go for it on 4th and inches. Emmitt Smith now checks back in.
Now the Raiders have got Grady Jackson across from Larry Allen.
Anthony Wright on the keeper.
Well, that's going to be close.
Raiders think they stopped him. Dick Hancock calling for the chains one more time.
Watch Larry Allen again. Watch him. Look at him. Oh, Grady Jackson. I'll tell you what. Grady Jackson does a real admirable job. He comes up over the top of Allen. Wow. How about that?
So the Cowboys, with an opportunity to pull within a touchdown, are stopped on 4th down. Well, the Cowboys are challenging the forward progress following the last play, the 4th down sneak by Anthony Wright. Teams are allowed to challenge the forward progress with regard to a potential first down.
Well, again, you have to have indisputable visual evidence, and we certainly don't have it from that angle, that Anthony Wright breaks that plane.
Challenge the forward progress spot as called on the field. There is no clear visual evidence to overturn the call on the field. With his first down open, Dallas has charged their second timeout.
Well, Tim, as you said, there must be indisputable visual evidence. There was not. Too tough to tell, so the call on the field stands as to the spot of the ball, so the Raiders will take over. Raiders take over on downs from their own 11-yard line, leading 28-14, early 4th quarter. Cowboys winless 0-3, Raiders 2-1. Tyrone Wheatley, who has 2 touchdowns today, spins out to the 12-yard line, get him just 1. Michael Myers made the tackle. So as Wheatley gets his shoulder pads adjusted, 2nd and 9 from the 12. Gannon looked right, now looking left. Overthrows Jerry Rice. George Teague on the coverage, so it will be 3rd and 9 for the Raiders.
You know, and really, Kenny, you pointed out Rich Gannon. Watch him and watch how quickly he makes the adjustment. He sees the coverage there. He comes back to his 3rd and 4th receiver. He doesn't see anything. he pretty much throws it away downfield. So that's excellent coverage by the Cowboys because Gannon really sees the whole field. He's not missed anything today. Anything the Cowboys has given him, he's taken. Here he is again, changing the play at the line.
He's thrown only 6 incompletions. He's 20 of 26. Has time on 3rd and 9. Incomplete. Jerry Rice, the intended receiver. Dexter Coakley may have gotten a piece of it. So for the 2nd consecutive series, the Cowboys defense forces a 3 and out.
And just as we were bragging about Rich Gannon and the near-perfect game, he delivered this ball behind Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, again, that crossing pattern, and he is open. Watch, Rice has got to come back for this ball. And had Gannon led him, it would have been another Raiders first down.
Reggie Swinton has been a star for the Cowboys today. So
yeah, wisely punts it out of bounds.
Yeah, kept that one away from Swinton. Good field position for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 Cowboys following the punt from the 38. Anthony Wright firing to midfield, and the pass is caught by Reggie Swinton and for a Cowboys first down.
Another really well-thrown ball by Anthony Wright. Now you're starting to, we've seen today why Emmitt Smith had such confidence. Watch, Galloway just does a quick out here. Look at that right there. Breaks to the outside, Swinton, excuse me, and the ball is delivered perfectly. Well done.
13-yard pass play. 3 wide receivers. And the Cowboys keep it on the ground. The fullback, Robert Thomas, gaining just a yard before he was wrapped up by Tony Bryant and Reagan Upshaw at the Raiders' 48.
Well, this Raiders defense, Kenny, has done a nice job today, considering all of the kick returns that the Cowboys have had, the fumble by their own special teams. They've been backed up quite a bit with bad field position and held the Cowboys to 14 points.
Penalty markers, 2nd and 8. Ball deflected and then picked off by William Thomas, but this one should come back. Deflected by Reagan Upshaw.
Yeah, Upshaw was the guy with the neutral zone infraction.
Offside. Defense, number 91, in the neutral zone at the time of the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down, 2nd down.
John Gruden with that famous snarling look that he got from his dad. It was fun talking to him yesterday, and he said that, I said, where did you get, I bet your dad did that. Of course, his dad was a coach. And he said, well, I'll never forget my dad's face. He was coaching at Notre Dame, and Blair Keel fumbled the ball. And when he came off, that's about what he looked like.
His dad now a scout for the 49ers. From the 43, big hole for Emmitt Smith. His longest run of the day. Emmitt gains 12 yards as we check in with James Brown.
Kenny, Green Bay was trying to nurse a 10-7 lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And take a look at Mike Allstott breaking loose here. Good block by number 19, Keyshawn Johnson. Good aggressive play. Allstott scores on a 39-yard jaunt. It is now Tampa Bay 14-10, 6:37 left in the 4th. Back to Kenny in 10.
Tampa Bay with a little bit of offense. Not too much, but a little bit.
A couple of big scoring plays for the Buccaneers today. Wright with a shovel pass to Emmitt. A gain of 4 down to the Raiders 26 before he was brought down by Marquez Pope.
Well, you know what the Cowboys are doing now, they're trying to get a little bit of run. They're trying to mix it up, but they want to use Larry Allen. They've been running behind Larry Allen. We saw the short yardage. They ran behind Larry Allen the play prior to this. And on this play, the play we just saw, instead of running behind Larry Allen, watch, they just pull it. You see him? They pull him out front there, and he's the lead for Emmitt Smith.
Troy Hambrook on 2nd and 6 works his way down to the Raiders 24, a gain of 2. Brady Jackson made the stop.
Yep, and it's behind Larry Allen again.
Cowboys working Troy Hambrick into the rotation. He gained over 100 yards last week thanks to an 80-yard run.
And again, Kenny, you know what success they are having in the run game, even with Emmett, it's coming right up the center.
And Hambrick's the Cowboys' leading rusher today with 24 yards. 3rd down and 4. 3 wide receivers set. Swinton in motion. Quick drop. And the pass deflected off the fingertips of Darren Cheverini, the former Cleveland Brown.
The ball throws just a little bit behind Cheverini and a little bit too hard. Anthony Wright, who's done a good job, watch, he just runs this quick slant here. You see that? A little too hard, a little too far behind him. Again, it's timing. You know, how many passes, how many slant passes do you think Wright has thrown to Cheverini this season, let alone this week? Carter got all the reps this week.
Cowboys spreading the field, going for it on 4th and 4. Complete at the 16-yard line. The pass is caught by Kenyon Rambo, his first NFL catch. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Raiders this year and was cut by the Raiders at the end of training camp.
And they come back to the same play. Watch it. It's just this slant pattern. Watch Rambo. He breaks to the inside. And again, the ball is perfectly thrown by Anthony Wright. He thread that right between the coverage. Eric Allen was on top. William Thomas had the underneath.
So a huge play on 4th and 4. Wright connecting with Rambo. Wright on 1st down overthrows the fullback Robert Thomas. William Thomas on the coverage.
And that time it was the pressure that forced Wright to throw early. Big Josh Taves, he came in. The NFL Europe Defensive Player of the Year with the Barcelona Dragons, replacing Roderick Coleman, the inside today, inside of that Raiders defensive line.
Taves in his 2nd season out of Northeastern. 2nd and 10 from the 16. Wright, rolling right. And the pass broken up. Charles Woodson and the coverage on Joey Galloway.
And this is what you expect when you throw the ball Charles Woodson's way. If you're a Raiders fan, you expect Woodson to just shut people down. And that's what he does on this play here. He shuts Joey Galloway down. He's reading it, and it reacts. And he comes up, and again, he has contact with Galloway, but unless he impedes him, it's not pass interference. Just good football.
3rd and 10. Cowboys must get to the 6-yard line for a 1st down. Right to the far side. Caught. Cheverini stretching across. Stopped about 1 yard shy of the marker.
Again, you see not a great pass, not great timing, but Cheverini's able to pull this one down, and then watch him here.
He was ruled out of bounds as he tried to stretch it, so it will be a 4th and 1 for the Cowboys.
And wherever the ball is when he's out of bounds, that's a close one.
Now Wright calls timeout.
Well, that may be one they might want to think about looking at on a replay. They only have one challenge left, though, Kenny. They used the other challenge on the 4th and very short.
Dallas misunderstood the announcement of 4th down. They mistook it to be 1st down. There is no charge timeout. The play clock is set to 25 seconds. We're starting under whistle.
They wish they heard 1st down.
Yeah. Sounds like some good lawyering by Dave Campo.
You can help him out with that.
That's about as hard as I've seen John Gruden wince all day.
The Quincy even more if the Cowboys are successful again. They're 2 for 3 today on 4th down. Off the fake, right, incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Mike Lucky, and Mike was unlucky on that play.
And Marquez Pope was right in his face again. Great smarts and great speed by the Raiders defense. Watch Marquez Pope. He doesn't go for the play-action fake at all. Neither does Tony Bryant. And then Anthony Dorsett closes on the tight end anyway, even if they had been able to fool Marquez Pope.
Raiders start from their own 7-yard line as they keep it on the ground on 1st down. Tyrone Wheatley up to the 10. You know, you look at this Cowboys quarterback situation. Tony Banks released in August. They brought in Ryan Leaf, failed the physical. Quincy Carter injured earlier today. Anthony Wright has played pretty well. What do you foresee?
Well, I will tell you, talk about Ryan Leaf was at the Cowboys hotel this weekend. He was here to watch the Giants, the San Francisco Giants baseball game.
Gannon's pass is caught out across the 20-yard line for a 1st down by Charlie Garner.
I talked with Stephen Jones, who's the executive VP for the Cowboys and director of player personnel, Jerry Jones' son, right before the game. And he said, yeah, Ryan Leaf was here and Jerry and I met with him, but we want to wait and see what happens with his wrist. He's got to clear up his medical situation before we're going to do anything. And even if we did, we're thinking about Ryan Leaf, not so much this season. I think medically they don't think he'll be ready for this season anyway.
Raiders now with some breathing room from the 20-yard line. Garner, hit hole, another. Raiders 1st down out to the 33 as we check in with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Kenny, Denver's defense was excellent in victory today over Kansas City as we take a look at Delta O'Neal, who became the 18th player in NFL history with 4 picks in a single game. That ties an NFL single-game record. They go on to victory 20-6. Back to Kenny and Tim.
All right, thanks very much, JB. The last NFL player with 4 interceptions in a game was Kwame Lassiter of Arizona back in 1998, did it against San Diego. So that record tied today. 4 interceptions in 1 game. Charlie Garner out to the 37-yard line. Darren Woodson made the stop as we approach 4 minutes remaining.
And on these last 2 plays, Kenny, you've seen what I was talking about earlier when I said, yeah, Garner has this great cutback ability and the ability to get to the outside of the defense, but these last 2 carries have been right up the center, and he's done very well. 1 for a 1st down, this one, the past one here for 5 yards.
Raiders now using up the clock. Remember their first drive of the second half lasted nearly 10 minutes. Garner fumbles. Ball is loose.
Still loose.
Cowboys say they have it. Recovered by Michael Myers. The second Raiders turnover of the game, and the Cowboys will get another opportunity.
And you're right in saying another, Kenny. The Raiders just keep giving them chances, keep keeping the Cowboys alive. It's just a quick pitch. And Garner drops it. And then the ball bounces the Cowboys' way again.
So a 3.5 remaining. Anthony Wright and the Cowboys go back to work from the Raiders 34. Emmitt Smith skips inside the 30 to the 29, a gain of 5. Despite the early dominance of this game by the Raiders, they scored touchdowns in their first 3 possessions. The Cowboys have hung in there, and this game could actually be closer. There have been 2 blocked field goals. They've been stopped on 4th down twice.
One thing this Raiders defense has done, though, today, they've been exceptional in the red zone. They've stopped the Cowboys in the red zone every time. The one touchdown that the offense had was a long pass from Wright to Galloway, and then, of course, they had the fake field goal.
Right on 2nd down, intended for Galloway, and a penalty flag. Charles Woodson had the coverage on Joey Galloway. Woodson's been flagged a couple of times now. On his 25th birthday, he was also beaten by Galloway for that 40-yard touchdown.
That looked like a good call by the officials as well.
Defense, number 24, first down.
Ball was actually thrown behind Joey Galloway, and when Galloway goes back for the ball, Woodson, I think, gets his arm wrapped right around Galloway. Watch it. Not his arm, but he just kind of bumps into him with his hip.
First and goal from the 9. Right down to the 6-yard line.
That was a pretty classic tackle by Greg Beaker, wasn't it?
And it's the first catch of the game for the tight end, Johnny Huggins, who remains down.
Watch this here. Huggins is going to come right in the zone, right in front of Beaker. And now watch Beaker react to it. Now watch him just lift. He lifts and he drives.
Huggins gained 3 yards on the play down to the 6. For the Raiders, Rich Gannon, 21 of 28, 209 yards. 7 receptions apiece for Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. Huggins helped to the sidelines. Cowboys only 7 points in the red zone.
Yeah, and don't forget, this one here came off of a fake field goal. So for the defense, for the Raiders defense, this is where they've been outstanding today, right here in the red zone.
Wright with time, swings it out to Swinton. And he works his way down to the 3-yard line. Elijah Alexander making the stop. So 3rd and goal upcoming. Anthony Dorsett, the son of the Cowboys legend, Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. Anthony shaken up as we hit the 2-minute warning. Raiders leading 28-14. 3rd and goal from the 3 for the Cowboys. Back in Oakland following the injury suffered by Anthony Dorsett. 4 seconds have been added back on. So 2:04 on the game clock, and now it runs down to 2 minutes. So now we have hit the 2-minute warning as the Cowboys get ready for 3rd and goal from the Raiders 3. 3rd and goal from the 3, and Emmitt Smith is stopped. No gain on the play. Again, Grady Jackson in on the stop for the Raiders. Thanks, Pat. Welcome to Oakland. Raiders lead the Cowboys 28-14. 4th and goal for the Cowboys from the 3. Anthony Wright looking, end zone, touchdown! Darren Cheverini. And with 1:21 remaining in the 4th quarter, the Cowboys pull within 8.
The Cowboys started this game out miserably with Quincy Carter only completing 1 of 5 passes. Anthony Wright came in to replace him after Carter hurt his hamstring, threw a touchdown pass on his first play from scrimmage. And the Raiders offense, which has been so successful in the first half, almost looked bored here in the second, and they kept allowing the Cowboys back into this game.
So the Cowboys are within a touchdown with 1:21 to go. Well, the Raiders took the 7-0 lead. Rich Gannon hitting Jerry Rice, 5-yard touchdown pass. Second quarter, Zach Crockett, 3-yard run, 14-0 Oakland. But the Cowboys came back. Anthony Wright's first play of the game hits Joey Galloway, 40-yard touchdown connection. And then a fake field goal after Tim Cedar had 2 of his attempts blocked. In the second quarter, he runs it in from 8 yards out. And then moments ago, Anthony Wright to the former Cleveland Brown, Darren Cheverini, pulling the Cowboys, the winless Cowboys, to within a touchdown. Raiders have turned the ball over twice. Cowboys, coming into the game, led the league in turnovers, have none today.
And the Dallas Cowboys also, Kenny, 179 yards in their kick return game. That's been a huge story here for the Cowboys, as well as the Raiders' turnovers. So the Cowboys special teams having a fantastic day, returning with the fake kick for the touchdown, and now they're going to try the onside.
So the Cowboys line up for the onside kick. Micah Noor, the punter, handles the kickoffs for the Cowboys. Remember, it must cross the 40 before the Cowboys can recover. The Raiders have it. Eric Johnson recovers the onside kick for the Raiders at the Cowboys' 40-yard line.
The kicking team can't touch it till it goes 10 yards, but the receiving team can. And Eric Johnson makes a great play by going up and being sure-handed and coming down with this last-ditch hope for the Cowboys.
Johnson, a special team star for the Raiders. His teammates call him crazy, thanks to his reckless style on special teams, living up to his nickname.
Yeah, absolutely reckless. He goes up for the ball with no regard for his body. His total concentration is on hanging onto that football.
Cowboys have only one timeout remaining, and they will use it right here. They lost a challenge earlier this half. So this is the final Cowboys timeout with a minute 19 up on the clock. Big day for Rich Gannon. Raiders quarterback, 21 of 28, 209 yards and a touchdown. He spread the ball around. 7 catches apiece for Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. Tyrone Wheatley with 2 rushing touchdowns.
116 wins this season. That's a record that has been here since 1906, the Chicago Cubs. So that's an exciting team. You've got the Yankees and the Oakland A's, who last year, when the Yankees won it all, they had their toughest time against the Oakland A's. They won that series 3-2. Oakland, a hot team right now. Hot team in baseball, and certainly a hot team in football.
Raiders will up their record to 3-1. They will have a Sunday night matchup with the Indianapolis Colts next week. While the Cowboys, who hung in there, they played the Raiders tough, did not turn the ball over despite losing Quincy Carter. Cowboys will drop to 0-4, and next Monday night they will take on the Washington Redskins, who are also 0-4.
And someone will win, most likely.
Possibly.
Well, Rich Gannon had a fantastic day today. Great accuracy. He spread the ball around tremendously. 21 for 28, 209, 1 touchdown. The Raiders moved the ball around on the ground game as well. 4 different ball carriers. Beautiful in the red zone.
For the Cowboys, their 7th consecutive loss on the road.